After the surprise success of Mega Man 2, it didn't take long for Capcom to reach out to the Inafune team to create another sequel. However, this new game wasn't going to be free of the conundrums that plagued Mega Man 2. To begin with, the planner of the previous games, Akira Kitamura, left the team. Second, it was clear that no one on the Inafune team liked this new supervisor Capcom gave them. Keiji Inafune himself stated that, quote, he didn't really understand Mega Man the way the predecessor did, unquote. Third, the main planner and organizer left soon after, leaving Inafune in charge of that job, which he showed very clear inexperience in. But not everything was just doom and gloom the whole time. Just like with Mega Man 2, Capcom held a contest for fans to submit their own Robot Master designs to be featured as bosses. Out of 50,000 submissions, 8 were quickly chosen and slapped into the game. On top of that, fan criticism of Mega Man 2 allowed the team to get a little more creative with the content of Mega Man 3, adding new features and characters like the slide mechanic to add some more complexity, at the cost of having to redesign the game's levels around it. All this chaos paired with another short development period led to Mega Man 3 receiving a severely rushed release. According to Inafune, quote, I knew that if we had more time to polish it, we could do a lot of things better, making it a better game, but the company said that we needed to release it. The whole environment behind it, what went into the production of the game, is what I least favored. Number 1 and 2, I really wanted to make the games. I was so excited about them. Number 3, it just turned out very different, unquote. For better or for worse, Mega Man 3 would be released on September 28, 1990. And boy, what a release it was. Calling Mega Man! Calling Mega Man! Come in, please! Mega Man, we need you! We're down to the wire on our peacekeeping project. We've got to get those last energy crystals or we can't finish it! Dr. Wily is here now too. Yes, he's finally found his sanity. He knows where the crystals are. They're in the mining worlds, but we can't get to them. The robots are running amok and they're destroying everything. You've got to get there, Mega Man, and get those crystals. You'll have to face some pretty mean metal. Expect the worst. Is Rush there with you? Give him a bolt to chew on and tell him it's from us. What's that? We must be getting static. Sounds like you just said woof. Mega Man, get to those mining worlds pronto! Grab the crystals and stop whoever's in charge. He's one lunatic guy. This is Dr. Light, over and out. God be with you all. Welcome to a generous guide to Mega Man 3. This guide is here to show you how to become a skilled Mega Man-at-Arms. Without further ado, let us begin. For cowboys and chivalry! And here is the level select. Meh, it's not as impressive as Mega Man 2's, but it does have some good stuff going for it. Ignore that screen tearing there. Anyway, unlike Mega Man 2, there isn't a real optimal path you need to take to collect goodies, so you can take whatever path you so please. It should be warned though, that in a genius move by the developers, the boss weaknesses go like this. Needle Man is weak to Gemini Man. Gemini Man is weak to Snake Man. And Snake Man is weak to Needle Man. So, no matter what, you will have to fight at least 2 bosses Buster only. I fight all the bosses Buster only all the time anyway, so I'm fine with that. Let's start this path with Needle Man. Before we begin, I must iterate, Mega Man 3's soundtrack is phenomenal. I'd rank it up there as one of the top 3 best pieces of Mega Man music out there. I'd show you some samples that we'd be here forever. So just go on YouTube, find the soundtrack there, and make love to it. Needleman's level begins with an assault by Hari Harries. These bots will fire out needles in 5 directions 3 times, then bowl over and try to ram you. A simple jump will avoid all their attacks, and the needles can be shot down for goodies, should you need any. The Buster thrashes them easily. After them comes this area filled with Mets, cannons, and Yambos. The Mets work exactly as you think. When you get close enough, they pop out, fire some pellets at you, careen towards you for a bit, then repeat. They leave a big window of attack when they pop out the chute, so even a slow draw like me can easily take care of them. The cannons are a different story. Once you get close, it opens up and fires some arc shots at you. They're not tough at all. The shots are very easy to see and react to, and a single burst fire from the Buster will make short work of them. The Yambos, however, require a bit more precision. Once they show up, they'll fly behind you, get in the right spot, then fling themselves towards you. Timing is key with these guys. Either shoot them as soon as they ready their charge, or jump over them once they do charge. They are no trouble after that. Keep going and you'll reach this tunnel full of needle presses. These mashers are a tricky thing to avoid. To do so, you need to wait until they start retracting, then use the slide feature, done by pressing jump and down simultaneously, to slip past them. Also, for this specific press here, stand on the very edge of the platform, slide once it retracts, then jump as soon as you pass it. It can be a bit tough to pull off, but it's possible. Up this ladder reveals this Hari Harry protecting this letter E that's out of reach. How do you get it? By using the Rush Coil, another new feature. Go into the weapons menu, get him out, plop Rush down on the right spot, then jump on him to gain a massive boost up. Congratulations, you got the E-Tank. Use it in the weapon selection menu to refill your health to full, a great tool in a pinch. Go up here to encounter the Hammer Joes. You can tell they're the Joe model because they smell like shit. They charge up, then fling a big mace ball at you every 3 seconds, and can only be shot when they throw the mace ball. The ball can be avoided with a single slide, and a simple burst fire will take care of the rest. For these two, you can just hide on the ladder like this and just cheese it away. Keep going up to encounter the Bicky. This game's stand-in for the Big Eye and Sniper armor. They may seem tough, but they aren't. They can only be shot when they open their eyes and jump, so the trick is to jump with them and lay down a barrage of pellets with the auto-fire function, or just mashing the shoot button, to drop them like salt over your shoulder. Now allow me to mention the auto. With that said and done, let's fight Needleman! Needleman fights with 2 very deadly attacks. The first is him jumping up and laying down 4 needles on your position. To dodge this, run around to throw off the first 2 needles, then jump over the next 2 that will inevitably hone in on you. Doing this inversely can also work. His second attack is a headbutt. He'll jump in front of you, in front, not on top, and extend that helmet of his right on your face. Don't panic when this happens. Once you see him jump near you, just stand still, wait for him to bend over, then jump up in place. It's not hard to dodge. If you find yourself cornered by him, the best thing you can do is slide and hope you don't get hit. Keep that in mind, and he'll be a roast durian in no time. Beating Needleman grants you the Needle Cannon, a Buster replacement that fires big needles. It may seem like a good replacement for the Buster, but it's very situational, so don't count on it to carry you throughout the game. You also get the Rush Jet, which allows Mega Man to fly. No, really, that's what he's doing, he's flying. Best power-up in the game, hands down. But with Needleman smoothed out, it's time for bot number 2. Magnet Man begins with some easy pits combined with mag flies. These guys, once they hover over you, lift you up a little and drag you away. They're not tough. Moving right even slightly completely negates them, and only those trying to die would be thrown off by them. After that comes this guy, Breakman. His pattern goes like this. He jumps up and shoots a few pellets in the air. That's it. To beat him, get behind him, then copy his attack pattern. It's a bit slow, but it really does turn him into a joke.
Hello there.
Up next is the Big Springer, an upgrade from the Springers of Mega Man 2. This thing will get in your way and fire these homing missiles at you. The Springer dies way too quickly to be a threat, but the homing missile can be a real nuisance if you don't kill it quickly, so be sure to do that first.
So uncivilized.
After that is this area full of Peter keys. No, the dynamo turbines they place here do not make them more threatening. Drop down to the left of this ladder to get some life ups, then go down again to these things. The pattern here is use Rush Jet. Drop down here to grab some nice goodies. Enter the new Shotman. This thing here will fire out pellets to the left and right, and fire arc shots when you get too close. Wait for the straight shots to get out of the way, then rush, then Magnet Man himself. Magnet Man isn't all that tough. First, he'll jump around, then do one of two attacks. First, he'll magnetize you towards him. You can block this by waiting a few seconds, or by jumping above him to cancel the attack prematurely. Make sure you do this when standing away from the stage center, otherwise he'll whack you on the rebound. His second attack, he'll fling 3 magnet missiles that hone in on you. To dodge these, find a good spot, wait for the missiles, then slide out of the way. Be careful though, because the missiles explode, so they can still get you even if you think they won't. Keep up this pattern and Magnet Man will be Magnot Man in no time. Beating Magnet Man grants you the Magnet Missile. This bad boy fires homing missiles, which is great for airborne foes, and those annoying nibblies that you can't hit normally. It's a fine weapon, so use it often. With Magnet Man repelled, it's time for bot number 3. Snake Man's level begins with Dada. These drugged up lunatics will hop around everywhere. The trick to them? There you go. Except for this one. Shoot that one. Next up are the Petite Snakies. These guys hold a position and fire a single pellet at you in 3-second intervals. Dodge the pellet first, then auto-fire on them for an easy kill. Then face off with the Big Snaky. Don't be intimidated, it's the same fight as the little Snakies, but with more health. Fire at the mouth, dodge the 3 big pellets with these by jumping around, then fire again. It should take no more than 4 rounds. After him comes some Potens. These guys work like this. As soon as you go under them, they drop their bodies on you and blow up. The bomb can be dodged by just running, and the Poten itself can be killed in one shot. They're not a threat. Grab these goodies up here, then drop down to an actual threat. the Bubukan. These guys will charge straight for you, do a gold medal pole vault over you, then run in the other direction. Once they get close, slide out of the way, either away from the pole or under it, then shoot the Bubu itself. Or jump over it, whichever works. Climb up here for another round of Hammered Joes. The same rules as before still apply. Climb up the right ladder first for these mystery boxes. Shoot them to get a random prize. Expect to feel cheated regularly. Climb up the left ladder for another big snake. Oh! That's horrifying. Is that the invisible monster chasing me in Amnesia? It could be. Take this thing down just like the last one, run past some more boo-boos, then encounter this jump. This jump may seem impossible without Rush Coil, but don't worry, it is. Climb up these ladders here for a meeting with the Jamesi. Up here is a section of tricky platforms and bomb flyers. The bomb flyers can be dealt with either by shooting them so they speed past you and miss, or just letting them float away from you. The real trick to this section is these cloud platforms. They may seem like no issue, but if you don't stand on them dead center, they'll drop you off the side. See, when they float up, they're technically spawning right on Mega Man's position, so the game feels it's appropriate to push Mega Man out of the way to make room, either upwards or to the side. My advice is to wait until the cloud is just about to show, then jump before it does to prevent it from pushing you. The rest is just some platforming over pits, nothing special. Finish that up to fight Snake Man. Snake Man is a deceptively easy boss. All he does is move left to right across the stage, occasionally firing little search snakes that can be easily jumped over. The trick to beating him is to hog the center platform like this, jumping over him whenever he gets too close to you, and jumping right back. There's nothing else to it, just keep going until you got yourself a nice leather bag. Beating Snake Man grants you the Search Snake. It shoots tiny search missiles that drag along the ground, sticking to the surface and detonating on impact. It may seem useless, but the fact that the snakes pop up above Mega Man a little, then hit targets too low for the Mega Buster to hit, can make them very, very useful. More times than you can think. With Snake Man skinned, it's time for bot number 4. And I'm fighting Shadow Man now, not just because I'm a total badass, but also because his music reminds me of Star Wars. I can't explain it. I can only show you this clip and see if it clicks for you. Anyway, Shadow Man's level begins with another Shot Man. You should be an expert with these guys by now. Then we get an encounter with the Mecha Kiro. These bouncy frogs can be some of the most annoying shits ever squirted into a Mega Man game. The trick is to use either the Magnet Missile or the Search Snake on them. You can use other weapons, but they'll likely miss or just phase right through them. The aforementioned weapons do the job better. Then you'll meet the Pickleman Bull, a Pickleman on a bulldozer. It accelerates towards you, and the head is the only weak point. A single burst fire from the Buster will kill them easily. Then we get another fight with Breakman. Again, get behind him, jump when he does, and shoot when he does. One more section of Peter Keys later, and we meet the Hologram and the Walking Bomb. The hologram will darken the screen when it shows up, and only when it dies or leaves the screen will it brighten again. The magnet missile works wonders on them, and the search snake isn't that bad either, at least for these close-up ones. The walking bomb is exactly what it says on the tin. It walks forward and explodes on contact. One shot from anything will kill them, so don't feel threatened. If you want to ignore the holograms, don't worry, there are no pits or spikes in this room, just bombs and Peter keys, so there's no worry of death. After that comes some more Kiros, you snakes as always, then this section of platforms and parachutes. The parachutes will drop in as soon as you step on a platform, swaying in the wind to try to knock you off. The magnet missile is the best weapon to use against them. Just nudge forward until they show up, then fire a magnet on their magnuts. Run past some Yambos, and then it's on to Shadow Man himself.
No, I am your father.
Shadow Man is considered the hardest boss in the game, and for good reason. His pattern is like this. He'll jump around 3 times, then do one of 2 attacks. He'll either slide across the room or throw some shurikens at you. What makes this tough is that the pattern is completely random. You'll never know which attack he's gonna do, so you just have to hope for the best. Here's my tricks for him. Stick to the near edge of the screen, but not the very edge. If you do that, then the jump he makes after sliding will stick his helmet shuriken up Mega Man's rectum. If you see him slide, jump forward towards him, then run to the other edge. If you see him throw shurikens, wait a little bit, then jump in place. But what if this happens? You jump preemptively for a slide, but he throws a shuriken.
What am I gonna do?
You can do this. Yep, works every time. Just be sure to get the actual timing right. Shoot at him during his attack intervals when he's jumping, and focus on avoiding him when he attacks back. Keep up the pressure, and you'll soon have a nice ninja grill in your house or your money back. Beating Shadow Man grants you the Shadow Blade. It's a big shuriken that goes out and comes back to Mega Man. It can also shoot out in all 8 directions, making it this game's equivalent of the Metal Blades from Mega Man 2. You also get Rush Marine. It's basically Rush Jet, but only works underwater. It's good, but there are only 4 times I know you can use it, so you'll probably forget you even have it. Anyway, with Shadow Man revealed, it's time for bot number 5. Sparkman begins with another Peter key, then some spark walls. These things will shoot out a big wall of lightning to stop SCP-106 damage you. Stand close, wait for the wall to go off, then jump past them. Next up are the Alekin. These battery bots fly around and shoot sparks in all 8 cardinal directions once you go under them. You can kill them the instant they go out of the chute, but if you miss, just run into them, then hold still for a bit. They aren't a major threat. The Shadow Blade can make short work of them. After one more Hammer Joe comes this section.
I have a question for God. What?
These blocks will fling themselves up to the spikes once you land on them, so don't waste time and gun it, lest you become Swiss cheese. One more Spark Wall, one more Pickle Bowl, and a few more Peter keys later, you'll wind up here with these junk blocks. The best bet is either spam pellets at them to clear a path, or jump over the first one and slide past before the second one appears. After that comes another section of flinging blocks, now with some Boltons and Nuttons, as if I didn't already make enough nut jokes. These guys will pop in and put themselves together, then slowly drag themselves towards you. They can't be hit until they are put together, so either use your jumping skills to run past them, or wait for them to be vulnerable and kill them. After that ordeal comes Sparkman himself. Sparkman is a real pushover. All he does is jump from one side of the stage to the other, randomly deciding to fire out 8 sparks a la Alekin, then shoot a big spark ball that can be jumped over with ease. The only real hazard with him is making sure you aren't standing on the same platform that he's on. As long as you stick yourself here or here and jump to the other side when he gets too close, you're golden. Enjoy your fried robot! Beating Sparkman grants you the Spark Shot. It fires a spark ball that doesn't damage enemies, but immobilizes them. Why you would want to use it, I don't know, but it's there if you want it. With Sparkman shorted out, it's time for bot number 6. Gemini Man's level begins with some crystal pits accompanied by Bomber Pepes and Nitronicus Farticus. The Farticus, once you get close enough, about this close, it'll swoop down and drop fireballs on you. The best way to deal with them is to shoot them before they get a chance, or just hold still, then move forward a little bit to avoid the third fireball it drops. That's why they like to have these guys guarding the bottomless pits. Take care of the Nitron first, then jump. Do the reverse, and you're bound to fall. The Bomber Pepes are just cannon fodder. They hop towards you and then toss an egg bomb at you. The bombs can be shot for goodies if you need any, but other than that, they're not worth mentioning. After them comes... Yeah, hello? Okay then. Drop down the left side to get this 1-up. If you miss it, then use Rush Jet to grab it. After that, you'll encounter the Poles. These guys bury themselves in these eggs that block your path. Shooting the egg reveals them where they can be shot down with the Buster, and only the Buster. The real problem is getting past these eggs that are scattered everywhere. Spamming works well, but more precision is going to be needed to grab goodies like this up here. To get that, clear a path here, then pull a tricky jump where you do a 180 at the very peak of it, then pull off a shot. Grabbing the stuff is elementary after that. Fend off some more eggs, and some more eggs, and some more eggs to reach this area full of Yambos and Pen Pens. You should be familiar with the Yambos at this point, but the Pen Pen maker here will spew out little pen pens at you every 2 seconds. They can only be hit in the eyes, so weapons like the Shadow Blade work wonders. You can also farm the Pen Pens for goodies, if you want.
Instinctively, each bird returns to the island where it was born to breed. Unfortunately, this inbreeding among the same population year after year limits the gene pool.
After that is a trip down the river filled with Yambos and Gyraibos. I think that's how you say it. The Yambos I don't need to mention, but the Gyraibos I should mention. These fishies will fly across the screen and shoot a torpedo as soon as they get under you. Be careful with this. The torpedo explosion will blast through the thin platforms you're on. If you don't like doing some platforming, you can just use Rush Marine to skip past all of it. Just make sure you have enough fuel to make the trip. Okay, game, I'll play fair. Use your elite jumping skills to run past, grab this E-Tank, fight off one more Bicky, then fight Gemini Man. Gemini Man can be very tough, but also very easy. He begins by cloning himself, then running around the room in a half-circle formation. To win this, you need good timing. As soon as you see one of the Geminis land, fire a shot, then immediately jump after hitting him. Doing this will avoid not only the clone, but also the pellet that the other Gemini fires at you. Once he's half dead, the clone will die, and Gemini will start running around the room, jumping whenever you hit the fire button. This phase is just like the Breakman fight. Shoot at him until he gets close, then fire a faint shot in order to slide under him, and keep doing that until he's dead. The laser he fires, though, requires good timing in order to react to. Make sure to keep a good eye on it whenever you can. Keep it up and you'll have Gemini in the bag. You will absolutely have him in the bag. He will be in the bag. He'll be in the bag soon. He'll be in the bag right now. Yep, got him. Beating Gemini Man grants you the Gemini Laser. Like Gemini Man, it can be powerful, but also useless. It fires a big Zorgoff laser that bounces across the screen. If it hurts, it hurts. If it misses, then forget about it. With Gemini Man shattered, it's time for bot number 7, who also happens to be one of my favorite Robot Masters. Hardman's level begins with the plight of the Have-Su Bees. These big baddies will fly to the right end of the screen, then drop their chibi children on you. And unlike the Peepees from Mega Man 2, these chibis will rebound in order to hit you again. The best thing to do is to either tank the bees and run, use the Shadow Blade to smack them before they can drop the hive, or run away as soon as they spawn in, which will despawn them. There's also after landing on them for 1 second, they'll jump out and bite you. Keep up the runs to make them a non-issue. After one lone Hammer Joe and some climbing, you'll meet the returning Mon King. What is he, a pro wrestler? These guys will jump up to the ceiling and try to fling themselves at you when you get close enough. The magnet missiles and the Shadow Blade make them a non-issue. Blast through some more Pickle Bowls to wind up with some more Mets, then this section full of more Wanons and more Have-Su Bees. Again, constant movement is key here. Do not stop running. Act like you got a shit to take. Then we get another rematch with 15-minute Breakman. This one is much easier than the other fights, because this time, you don't even need to move. Just stand here and spam shots in Breakman's general direction and you'll kill him before he can even count to 10. Don't worry about losing health. They give you a life up after the fight to make up for it. Take down one more Bicky, and then it's on to Hardman.
I'm Hardman, and you're gonna have a hard time beating me.
Ooh! Innuendos aside, Hardman is a hard fight only in name. His only attack pattern is shooting these two hard knuckles at you, then jumping on top of you. To dodge this, stand at the very edge of the screen to make the knuckles despawn, shooting Hardy non-stop. Did I just say that? If you let the knuckles stick around, they'll rebound on you like the chibis do. Once he jumps, slide over to the other side of the screen, and repeat. Be sure to sneak in a little extra pellet on him before he lands and freezes the screen. Repeat this until he makes a hard fall.
Looks like the harder they are, the harder they fall.
Beating Hardman grants you the Hard Knuckle. It shoots out a slow-moving but powerful missile that smothers anyone unfortunate enough to be hit by it. It has a delay to it, however, so be mindful of your timing. With Hardman softened, it's time for the final Robot Master. Top Man's level begins with more Boltons and Nuttons. This time mixed with Mecha Kiros. Use Shadow Blade on you meet the Komasaburo. These guys will hold ground and spit death tops at you all day. The best way to beat them is either the Search Snake, the Gemini Laser, or just sheer willpower. Keep going, grab some goodies, fight off some more Pickle Bowls, jump up here to grab this nice 1-up, fend off some more Mets, as usual, then come across the Tama. This big fur ball will spit 2 yarn balls at you that bounce around everywhere. It'll also occasionally throw tiny flea bots at you if you shoot down the yarn balls. To beat it, use either the Buster or the Hard Knuckle in its mouth until it drops dead, dodging the yarn balls along the way.
What did I do to deserve this?
Fend off another Tama, then do some platforming, then fend off another Komasa Baro to reach this spot. These spinning top platforms will, well, spin Mega Man around a bit when he's on them. And if that really messes up your jumping, how'd you get this far? Anyway, let's fight Top Man.
I am hungry.
Top Man is a piss easy fight. He flings out some tops that fling themselves at you after about 1 second, then he'll spin himself around for about 3 seconds, and then fling himself at you. A simple slide avoids the tops, and a single jump avoids Toppy Man himself. He should not be any trouble for you, especially after coming this far. Beating Top Man grants you the Top Spin. This weapon spins Mega Man in the air, making him invincible for a small spell. It can come in handy, but it'll more often than not hurt you in the long run if you use it. But now, with all the Robot Masters taken care of, it's time for Dr. Wily once again. Oh, never mind. We got some new guys coming in to fight. Well, in that case, let's jump in and face these mysterious assailants. So, Needleman 2 begins like the first time, with Hari Harrys at the beginning. Use the Gemini laser on them, nothing else to it. Then we get another room full of needle presses. Again, this one can be a bit tough to traverse, so don't be surprised if you take some hits. Remember, stand on the very end of the platforms, wait for the press to detract, then make your move. Gunning it like I did only leads to Pain City. Up here contains a big springer, and I'd like to show you what happens when this big boy runs out of ammo. Tiny cute. Use Rush Jet to grab these two E-Tanks here, then take down another Hari Harry to face off with the mysterious assailant. Meet the Doc Robot, a copy robot that takes one of the bosses from Mega Man 2 and reskins it. And for the sake of getting every detail right, I will explain them all. Doc Air here will spew out 3 groups of tornadoes, then blow them right into you. After 3 rounds of this, he'll jump over to the other end of the room and repeat this. Thankfully, unlike in Mega Man 2, the slide makes this fight much more tolerable. However, the same rules for Airman still apply. Shoot like a madman once the tornadoes go off screen. This Doc Robot is weak to both the Magnet Missile and the Spark Shock. I recommend the Missile in order to take advantage of the Honing feature. After that ordeal, you'll meet this area. Rush Jet is the only way to get past this, so of course they fill it with Yambos and Parachutes to annoy you. However, there is a trick. If you hug the top of the screen and jump repeatedly, you will avoid almost everything here. You see, whenever you jump above the screen, the game considers you at the bottom of the screen, and enemies will act on that accordingly. I don't know why this is, but it's a good way to dodge the baddies. Plus, Rush Jet's fuel only drains when you're actually on Rush, not when he's out, so this can save fuel for him too. Once you get up here, waste no time in killing this one Boo Boo Khan. Get past him and meet with the big man. Oh, right, I had to say something about it. I'll do that later. Go here to fight with Hover Mets and more cannons. The Hover Mets act as vertical versions of regular Mets. They shoot downwards, land, then charge you. Treat them as you would any other Met. The cannons should not be an issue for you. Now for the second big Met. So here's what they do. First, they'll spawn Mets that charge at you, then fire these big pink cannonballs. Neither of these attacks are tough. The Mets die in one hit, and a slide will nullify the cannonballs. The only weak point is that plus sign on their helmet, so use either the Shadow Blade or Rush Jet to reach it. After one more Harry, we have the rematch with the Doc Robot. This time, it's Doc Crash. He works by jumping around at random, lobbing a crash bomb at you whenever he jumps. Sliding around like crazy is the only way to keep him from hitting you. His weaknesses are the top spin and the hard knuckle. And now I can show you all why I like the hard knuckle so much. Yep, you can just use the hard knuckle as an impromptu way to punch enemies in the face. Just something about seeing Mega Man decking Wily's minions in the face with a big explosive fist. You just can't replace that feeling. And that's that. Time for the next Doc Robot fight. Shadow Man 2 begins like the original, but with added spikes here. They're easy enough to dodge, except for this one here. As Kid Icarus has shown us, if you stand too far from the edge, the spike's hitbox will still register and kill you. Make sure you stand as close to the edge as possible before committing to a jump. Up next are some more Peter keys, shoot 'em as always. After that is the resident Bicky.
A boxing glove!
Some more Peter keys, and then it's a rematch with the holograms and the walking bombs. This time with these platforms here that drop you. This part can throw many people off unless you remember these things. As long as you jump the very second you land on these dropping platforms, you'll be fine. Use your elite skills to pass by that, and then have a rematch with Doc Wood. This guy fights by popping up a leaf shield, dropping slow falling leaves down on you after throwing the shield at you, then jumping a little bit towards you. The best thing to do here is to just spam shots whenever he's got an opening, lest you die slowly. He's weak to the Search Snake and the Needle Cannon. I recommend the Needle Cannon to fight him, not the Search Snake like I did here. Once you beat him, you got a hallway full of Hammer Joes. Using either the Hard Knuckle or the Gemini Laser and sliding at the same time they throw their base is the fastest way to deal with them. Run past that mess to reach another round of this garbage. It's the same deal as last time you did this, but now we have Kiros making it even tougher on you. Magnet missiles nullify any difficulty this area may have had. One giant Springer later, and we have another Doc Robot rematch. This time, it's Doc Heat. He throws some easy to dodge fireballs at you. Then flings himself at you whenever you hit him. Unlike Heatman from the previous game, you have no time to process this flinging attack of his, so just get ready to jump as soon as you hit him. He's weak to the Shadow Blade and the Top Spin. I prefer the Shadow Blade because the Top Spin works too slowly for my liking. And that's it. On to the next one. Sparkman 2 begins with a Rush Coil Jump, a Peter Key, and a Jamacy. Then comes another round of Alekin, this time with these spinning wheel platforms. The Alekin are dealt the same as always, with the Shadow Blade, but the wheels are not a problem at all. If you can readily jump from one platform to the next without thinking, which you should be able to at this point, then they aren't an issue for you. 2 giant springers later, and we got another Doc Robot. This time, it's Doc Metal. Doc Metal works like this. Whenever you shoot, he'll jump up and fire either 1, 2, or 3 blades at you. Whenever he fires a blade, jump immediately in order to dodge it. That's the whole fight. His weaknesses are the Magnet Missile and the Hard Knuckle. I recommend the Magnet Missile because you can miss way too often with the knuckles. After that, we get yet another drop down the spike-filled hole. For this one, you just have to nudge yourself to the left whenever the screen transitions. After that, we have Mort Nuttons mixed with Electric Gab Yoles. Use any weapon you have to deal with the Boltons, except Search Snakes. Then get your timing right for the Spark Wall once you're done with the Boltons. It should be much trouble for you. Then you wind up here with these junk blocks, but now they have pits next to them! Now for another rematch with the Doc. This time, it's Doc Quick. Now, I never talked about Quickman's attack pattern in my Mega Man 2 guide. That's because Quickman has no pattern. He, and his Doc Robot counterpart of course, jump around and run everywhere like a fly on crack, randomly flinging boomerangs at you. There isn't anything I can say about dodging his attacks other than just run around, slide if you can, hope for the best. Anyway, his weaknesses are the Gemini Laser and the Search Snake. I recommend the Laser. The snakes are way too unreliable, as I discovered in this footage. Plus, they get blocked by the boomerangs. The Laser's bounciness will ensure that a hit is always guaranteed on him, considering how fast he goes. And that's all he wrote. On to the last robot. Gemini Man begins with the return of Fartonomies and these things. You may think this is a new enemy type. It isn't, that's just a Jamacy from the side. If you can beat the Gemini Man 1 intro, you can beat this. There's nothing new here. Drop down here to get cheated out. Then meet the poles again, this time with Pawtons guarding them. Just like last time, spamming shots is the best course, and Rush Jet is best for these higher elevations. Keep fending off the poles several times to rematch the Doc Robot again. This time, it's Doc Flash. Doc Flash is not very hard. He walks from left to right, occasionally freezing time to shoot a row of pellets. What can make him a pain is his larger hitbox. You can't just jump over him like you could with Flashman and Mega Man 2, unless you're frame perfect. His time stop can be avoided by just jumping before he does it, which is easy to notice. His weaknesses are the Needle Cannon and the Gemini Laser. Either one of them works well enough. Run past this Jamacy vending machine to end up in this big pool. This is basically the Rush Marine version of that jet section from Needleman 2. Pop out Rush Marine and just fly forward, shooting non-stop. Constant movement combined with constant shooting will prevent any enemy here from being a threat. Shadow Blade these Pawtons here to face off with ladders and a never-ending army of Jamacies. Good job. Now for Doc Bubble. Doc Bubble works by firing pellets at you while tossing bouncing bubbles at you. I would explain more, but you're better off just forgetting the pattern and shooting him with either the Spark Shock or the Shadow Blade until he's dead. There you have it. All Doc robots are now dead. Now it's time for Wily. Oh, for fuck's sake, fine. Let's fight Breakman one last time. It's the same fight as always. The elevation doesn't change anything. Just keep spamming until he's dead. Light, I must ask, what the hell else did you expect? Wily Stage 1 begins with a 1-up obtainable with Rush Coil. Then comes some Komasa Burrows, Gemini Laser as always. Grab this E-Tank, and then Rush Marine past this Pen pool to reach here. See these green walls? Use the Hard Knuckle to crack them open and grab yourself some goodies. Same rule applies to the next room, and the next. One more round of Hammer Joes later, and you'll go here. Oh hey! No. Looks like it's boss time already. Meet the Kamegoro Maker. This big thing will produce, well, Kamegoros that fly in and dart around the screen, bouncing off the walls in 90-degree angles. Alongside these are gusts of water wind that push you around everywhere. Whip out either the top spin or the shadow blade, find a nice comfy spot, and wail on it until the game tells you to stop. Very good. Next level. Wily Stage 2 starts with a little maze brewed together with more dropping floors. If you want to skip past it, you can, even though getting the goodies here is not hard at all. Climb up to find a section filled with more Wanans, spikes, and more Subis. Again, constant jumping to dodge the Wanans, and Shadow Blade to remove the bees, or just sliding out of the way and despawning as usual. Then, this room. It's just an empty room that you rush jet past. Boss time! It's the Yellow Devil Mark II. There is a pattern to memorize and perfect, but I just like to do this. Well done. Next level. Wily Stage 3 begins with fodder for the magnet missiles, and then another section of knuckle walls. Climb up here, grab this E-Tank, and have a rematch with the bombs and holograms again. You still have the magnet missiles? Good. Use them. Take down this Bicky. Take down this Bicky and take down this Bicky and go up here to this moving platform area. It may look tough, but jumping constantly will guarantee you get it done in less than 10 seconds. Boss time again. Meet the Hologram Mega Mans. Yes, that is the name. Get out the search snakes, look for the one that teleports in, not pop in, teleports in, and spam them till dead. Well done. Wily Stage 4 starts with junk golems. These guys will drop a big junk right on your head as soon as you drop into the room. The best thing you can do is jump before they toss it to throw off their aim. If you can't do that, then just tank the hit. Grab some goodies, then have a rematch with all the Robot Masters. Alright, let's get this done quickly. First up, Needleman. His weaknesses are the Gemini Laser and Needle Cannon. Nothing about his fight changes, he just dies faster now. Next up is Magnet Man. His weaknesses are the Spark Shock and Magnet Missile. Again, no change in the fight. Then Gemini Man. His weaknesses are the Search Snake and Gemini Laser. No change in the fight. In fact, nothing about the Robot Master fights changes with their weaknesses. If you can do the fights back then, you can do them here. So let's just get over them quickly. Hard Man is weak to the Magnet Missile and the Hard Knuckle. Top Man is weak to the Hard Knuckle and the Top Spin. Shadow Man is weak to the Top Spin and the Shadow Blade. Quick tip, be careful when using the Top Spin. If you use it during your iframes, like when you get hit, you'll drain all the ammo in an instant. Not fun. Spark Man is weak to the Shadow Blade and the Spark Shock, and Snake Man is weak to the Needle Cannon and the Search Snake. That's all. Rather underwhelming, I must say. Final level time. Grab all the pickups you need and drop down the Face the Wily machine. Oh, there he is. Use Spark Shock to drop the cannon in an instant. Then switch to Rush Jet to fly up and spam the Mega Buster on Wily himself. Don't worry about the arc pellets he fires in either phase. They don't do much damage. Oh dear, surprise level! Grab what you need and head down that door. It's time for the fight with Gamma. Stand right here and spam Shadow Blade upwards. His arc shots won't hit you here. See? Phase 2, get out Rush Jet, go up here, switch to the top spin, and nail Wily with it. Oh, balls! And nail Wily with it. Yeah, there's that Wyle typo again. And that's Mega Man 3. You know, I'll be in a minority when I say this, but I really love this game. Despite all the flaws and the rushed development, I can't help but love it. I love the weapon variety, I love the enemy designs, the level design always interests me no matter how many replays I do, and the Robot Master designs and the fights are great, and I adore the soundtrack. In fact, the OST is so good, it made me shit myself. If you think I'm joking, I wish I was too. Also, it turns out that Breakman was actually Proto Man, the brother of Mega Man. Who'da thunk? And that's all I have to say. Thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you want, and Godspeed you. And even though I ain't got money, I'm still gonna make some money. Breaking copyright claim. Yeah, yeah.